Now, Nuno Espirito Santo out and Ange in. What is happening at the City grounds? Welcome to the Isaac Muki Sports Show, and today we are going to talk about the latest breaking news in the football fraternity. It's been really shocking for Nuno Espirito Santo to be sacked by Nottingham Forest at the City grounds. But we saw this coming. We saw him recording and sharing feedback during that tense press conference where he shared his views about his relationship with the ownership at the Forest grounds at Nottingham Forest, and that was not really good. Not in any way this could go into his favor. You cannot break up with your boss, you cannot break up with management, and then you come into a press conference, share your views and feedback. So he first of all broke up with the sporting director, Edu, and for me, in my opinion, I think that press conference was actually directed straight to Edu. And, you know, it has not really been healthy conversations there for Nuno Espirito, and here we are. He has been sacked, and Ange in. Tell us your views, your feedback. What do you think this is going to lead? What do you think this is going to make at the City grounds? Remember, Nuno Espirito Santos had quite a very good season at the City grounds last season. He was beating the big guns, the big boys, challenging City, the Arsenal. In fact, all the top six, he was challenging them. So I think this is not very good news for Nottingham Forest fans. Please share what you think about this and what is really happening at the City grounds. But in my opinion, I think them hiring Ange is still a big statement. Remember, Ange, the Australian, finished fifth. That was Tottenham Hotspur last season. It finished fifth in the Premier League. It went on to win the European Championship. So I think that is a great move still for Nottingham Forest fans. You shouldn't feel disappointed. But then I think it was not the right timing for you heading into the Premier League over the weekend versus the Arsenal. Arsenal still with some wounds there, being walloped by Liverpool Football Club. So I think it's not going to be a very good experience for the Nottingham Forest Football Club and its fans. So let's wait and see what happens as we progress into the weekend. Of course, it has been the international break where teams go and, you know, I guess during the international break, managers review their tactics and analyze football better, where they should change, what add-ons they should make. So I think it is not a very good timing for the ownership of Nottingham Forest to sack their top-performing manager last season. So let's wait and see what happens at the Emirates Stadium. But then that brings a clear picture that Arsenal has a higher chance of winning the game going into the weekend. But them hiring Ange is still a big statement. Remember, he won the European Championship last season with Tottenham Hotspur. So he's also such a big winner there. The Australian has won at Celtic. We all know that. So that is also another big statement. So them hiring Ange is quite another big statement that they are quite ambitious. Nottingham Forest is quite ambitious. So let's wait and see what happens as the campaign progresses. Share your views and feedback. What do you think of the sack? Do you think Nottingham Forest made a great move, or do you think they now lost what they are building? But anyway, let's quickly jump into something else that we needed to talk about. The bookies' prediction of the table standings are out, and we are going to be looking straight into that. Let's share what the bookies have. Let's quickly deep dive in what the bookies are saying. Are they right? Share your feedback, share your comments, and what you think of what the bookies are saying. Let's quickly jump into those. We already have those noted down here. We're going to start with, of course, the bottom three. And this is what the bookies are saying. The windows are shut, no more transfers in the English Premier League. And this is what the bookies are saying. Now, the bookies are saying Wolves will be 20th come the end of the Premier League season. So Wolverhampton will definitely be 20th according to the bookies. What are the current position? Wolves are actually 20th, and the bookies are saying they will be 20th come the end of the Premier League season. Do you agree to that? Now let's quickly move on to what team will be in the 19th position according to the bookies. Now, Burnley will come as 19th. What is the current position of Burnley Football Club? 14th is the current position, and the bookies are saying Burnley will be 19th. Now, Burnley has made quite some huge statements in the transfer window. Of course, signing the likes of Kylie Walker from Manchester City. So they need to up their game. According to the bookies, they're saying they will be 19th. Now let's move on to the 18th position, Sunderland Football Club. The bookies are recommending Sunderland to finish 18th. I don't agree to that because Sunderland has had a quick fire start to the season, making huge statements by signing players like Granit Xhaka with great leadership skills, and the bookies are saying Sunderland will be 18th. Now, what is the current position of Sunderland moving into the season after 3 Premier League games? Sunderland is actually 6th, and the bookies are saying Sunderland will finish 18th. So it seems like the bookies are going against the odds of their current status. So we have Burnley in 20th position, Wolves in 19th position, and Sunderland in 18th position. So the book is actually saying all the Premier League clubs that were promoted will be relegated. Do you agree to that? Share your feedback, share your views, and let's move on to the 17th position. Now the bookies are saying Leeds United will come 17th come the end of the Premier League season. What do you think of Leeds United? Currently, Leeds is 12th in the standings, of course playing some beautiful football there, but as things go by, I think Leeds will finish higher than that, but the bookies are saying Leeds will finish 17th. Share your feedback on that. Now let's move on to the 16th position. Now in 16th position we have Brentford. Now remember Brentford has lost some of its performing players like Brian Mbeumo, Wissa going into Newcastle United. So the bookies are saying Brentford will finish 16th. Remember, it also lost its top manager in Thomas Frank Engine. They are moving on to Tottenham Hotspur. So the bookies are saying Brentford will finish 16th. What do you think? Share your feedback and comments. Let's move on to the next position, which is the 15th position. Now West Ham comes into the 15th position. Remember, we on this show with my boys Hudsonville and Joe and Rovule, we recommended Graham Potter to be the first manager to be sacked. Unfortunately, it's not as we as we had actually predicted. Nuno Espirito Santo being the first manager to be sacked, and the bookies are saying West Ham will come into the 15th position come the end of the season. What do you think? Currently, West Ham are 16th, and the bookies are saying West Ham will finish 15th. Let's move on to the next one, 14th position, Fulham. Now, Fulham has been unlucky in their last previous game against Chelsea, their goal being disallowed by VAR, which, of course, as usual, we know it has, I think, become a routine for the English Premiership VAR to be inconsistent in terms of decision making. So I think Fulham has been a little bit unlucky there, and the bookies are saying Fulham will finish 14th come the end of the Premier League season. What do you think? Share your feedback. Fulham fans, what do you think of that? Now let's move on to the next one. The 13th position, the bookies are saying Nottingham Forest will finish 13th. Of course, Nottingham Forest has had internal issues. Now that Nuno Espirito Santo has been sacked, will it finish 13th? Will it finish higher than that? Let's wait and see what happens. Remember, they have hired Ange, who is a serial winner as well. He knows the league. He was there with Tottenham Hotspur. And Nottingham Forest are currently in the 10th position, but the bookies are saying they will finish 13th. What do you think? Forest has also lost quite some good players in there, the likes of Elanga, as earlier mentioned. Now let's move on to the next position. Crystal Palace coming into the 12th position, current position 8th. Now after 3 games, the bookies are saying Crystal Palace will finish 12th. Of course, they have lost quite some good players, the likes of Eze, Eberici moving on to the Arsenal. They were lucky not to lose Mark Hughes to Liverpool Football Club at the end of the transfer deadline day. They hang on to him, and of course their manager, they are coming out and threatening to quit his job in case he lost his team captain. So what do you think? I think the bookies are not favouring Crystal Palace. They have had quite a good start to the season, and them saying they will finish 12th at the end of the Premier League season, I don't agree to that. I think they will finish higher than that. What do you think of Crystal Palace? Let's move on to the 11th position. Now, Everton Football Club. The bookies are saying Everton will finish in the 11th position. Current position, they're in the 5th position, and I think David Moyes has really done well so far, signing Jack Grealish into the club. He's already a Premier League player. He knows the league, and he has already made 5 assists already. So I think the bookies are not being realistic here. But let's wait and see what happens. They're saying Everton Football Club will finish 11th. Let's move on to the 10th position. We have Bournemouth Football Club. I think. What do you think? Do you think Bournemouth will finish 10th as per the bookies? Currently, they're in the 7th position. Of course, Bournemouth has some very good players, the likes of Anthony Semenyo. So let's wait and see what happens. The bookies are saying Bournemouth will finish in the 10th position. Now, in the 9th position, we have Brighton Football Club, currently in the 11th. So the bookies are saying the Brighton Football Club will have a better position at the end of the Premier League season. We saw them winning their game against Manchester City, of course coming from behind and then pulling off that stunner win, winning 2-1 against Manchester City. It was quite amazing. We saw some tactical changes there, so I guess the bookies may be right on this one. Brighton Football Club finishing in the 9th position. Let's move on to the 8th position. Aston Villa coming into the 8th position. Aston Villa has had quite a slow start to the Premier League era. This particular campaign, Aston Villa has had quite a slow start. The bookies, however, saying they will improve as the season progresses, having Aston Villa into the 8th position. They are currently 19th. Wow, that is really not a very good position for Aston Villa. But we trust Unai Emery. He has the experience, he has the squad depth, so we trust him to up his game and bring Aston Villa into the upper positions of the Premier League table. So the bookies are saying Aston Villa will actually finish 8th. Now let's move on to the next position. In number 7, we have Newcastle United. Now Newcastle United has made some, of course it has lost its best player in Alexander Isak to Liverpool Football Club at the end of the transfer deadline day, but also signing Wissa from Bournemouth, Wissa was from, if I'm to remember, signing the likes of Wissa, bringing them into the club. Now Wissa is also a serial killer. He's such an authentic striker there, so we think they will up their game and finish in the 7th position as the bookies. They have also had a slow start to the Premier League. Let's move on to the 6th position. In number 6, we have Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham has had a great start to the season so far. The bookies are recommending Tottenham Hotspur to finish the season in the 6th position. Currently, they are 4th. So the bookies are actually saying they will drop a little bit into the 6th position. What do you think? Share your feedback. Do you think the Thomas Frank engine will keep firing, play European football? But according to the bookies, they are saying no. Tottenham actually will not finish in the top 5 position. Let's move on to number 5. Now, in number 5, we have Manchester United. Wow, this will be a great comeback for Manchester United, finishing in the position they finished in last season and qualifying for European football this particular season, according to the bookies, finishing 5th. That will be some great improvement for Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United have strengthened their attacking options in Brian Bono, Matthias Cunha. Now, in 5th position, we have Manchester United. I think that would be a great move for Manchester United, improving from where they were last season to 5th position. That would be a tremendous improvement from Manchester United. Of course, Manchester United have made refinements in their attacking options, bringing on the likes of Brian Bono, Matthias Cunha, Benjamin Sesko. So let's wait and see what happens. What do you think? Do you think Manchester United will finish in the 5th position and qualify for European football next season? I think they do have a chance, given the fact that they do not have to play any other competitions in Europe other than the English Premier League. So I guess their concentration levels will highly be on the English Premier League. So we have no excuse. Manchester United Football Club has no excuse. They need to play European football come the end of the season, and I think the bookies have gotten it right here. Manchester United finishing in the top 5 positions. Now let's move on to number 4. In number 4 we have Chelsea Football Club as per the bookies. Now I do not agree to that somehow, but let's wait and see what happens. Chelsea have also bolstered their attacking options in Delap, João Pedro from Brighton Football Club, and they are currently number 2 in the English Premier League, and the bookies are saying, well, they will drop to the 4th position. What do you think? Do you think the Blues will finish in the number 4th position, or they will finish higher than that or lower than that? Chelsea fans, please share your feedback in regards to that. Now let's move on to the top 3 positions, and guess what? In number 3 we have Manchester City. They have had a slow start to the season as usual, but I guess they will pick up. So the bookies are saying Manchester City will finish number 3 according to how they are playing so far, and they are currently in the 13th position. This is not very good news for Pep Guardiola and his boys, but we always trust him to, you know, bolster his tactics and come up the ladder. So the bookies are saying they will actually finish 3rd at the end of the Premier League season. Let's move on to number 2. Now, number 2, we have the Arsenal. I know Arsenal fans, this may not really sound so pleasant in your ears, but the bookies are saying Arsenal will finish number 2. I don't understand why the bookies are placing you in number 2 after bolstering your squad, signing Eze, signing Gyökeres, signing Noni Madueke from Chelsea Football Club, bolstering your defense in Christian Mosquera. So the bookies are saying, no, this is not your turn yet to actually win the championship. So they are placing Arsenal Football Club in number 2 position. They are currently 3rd, but come the end of the Premier League season, they will be number 2. Now, of course, Liverpool, the defending champions, will finish the season as the champions according to the bookies. They are currently number 1. They are playing some beautiful football. I like their transition. Of course, they have strengthened their attacking options in Alexander Isak. That dramatic transfer in Alexander Isak at the transfer deadline day killed it off, and I really think they stand a chance to defend the title. What do you think? Do you think Liverpool Football Club will defend the title? According to the bookies, yes, they will defend the title. So that is how we stand from number 20 to the 1st position. Tell us what your feedback is. Do you think the bookies are right? These are not my predictions for now. As the season progresses, we shall be sharing our prediction, of course, as per the standings and how the Premier League games are going. We shall be sharing our predictions, but that is what the bookies have for us. Do you agree with what the bookies are saying currently or not? Share your feedback and look and what you think at the end of the Premier League season. Now we shall be sharing our Premier League predictions entering into game week 4. Hudson Villa will be sharing his opinion. Joan Rovule will be sharing his opinion, and we have a surprise guest speaker this time round, or host. We're hosting someone special. Look out for our next video in our next catch up. Thank you for viewing, thank you for subscribing, thank you for liking and sharing our videos. So far it has been very good feedback, and thank you for watching. We sign out for now. Cheers and see you next time.